Hello friends, how are you? After finishing our sixth chapter, which was about chemical reaction, catalyst, catalytic power, etc., I am starting the seventh one, that is structure of atom, periodicity, and periodic table. That chapter has three parts. First is structure of atom, second is with the periodic table, and third one is periodic properties. So I am starting the first part of the chapter, which is atom and its structure. The first point, that is atom. What is atom? I think very familiar with word atom. In the class 9th, in the class 8th, in the class 6th, 7th, we read it about. We read about it. Okay. So if we start with the definition, the simplest definition, then we can say that the smallest particle of any substance, the smallest particle of any substance which cannot further divide, which cannot further divide into more simple particles is known as atom. This definition was given by Dalton in his atomic theory. This definition was acceptable till 19th century, but after the 19th century it is found that atom is also divisible matter. It divides into electron, proton and neutron. Okay, so now this definition has some issues, but one thing if we added in this definition, that is by chemical reaction, then this issue is solved, because by any chemical reaction we cannot further divide atom into electron, proton, neutron, that means subatomic particles. So if we use that chemical reaction term here, then this is also correct, and if we use that term, then this reaction becomes the smallest particle of any substance which cannot further divide into more simple particles by chemical reactions. By chemical reactions, yeah, in chemical reactions is known as atom. Clear? The second definition, we can say that the smallest particle of any substance which takes part in chemical reaction, because in chemical reaction atoms takes part. We use molecule as a reactant, but during the chemical reaction molecules dissociate into atoms and atoms combine and make products. That means we can say that this in chemical reaction molecules sorry atoms takes part. Okay, so this definition becomes the smallest particle of any substance which takes part in chemical reaction is called atom. Okay, this definition can also write like the smallest constituent of matter which possess its chemical properties is called atom. Is called atom. Got it? So out of these three definition, we can use anyone as our secondary label. Okay, now let me discuss about its history. It is a proud moment for us that Indian sage philosophers told about atoms much before than modern science achieved it. For example, that if we consider from the known sources, it is clear that ancient Indian philosopher Maharshi Kanad 500 BC told about divisibility of matter. Told about the divisibility of matter. He told that when substance is continuously divided into small pieces, more smaller than smaller pieces, then finally a smallest particle is obtained which cannot further divide, into small pieces. This smallest particle was named Parmanu. In modern science, we called it atom. Atom. Got it? Another Indian philosopher, Pakuda Katyam, told that different form of substances, that means anu, in modern time we called it molecule, are obtained by combination of these particles, that is parmanu. He told that the parmanu, that means atom, combine in different proportions and make different type of substances and make different type of substances. Got it? At the same time, um, that means at the time of Meshikanad and so on, the same time the Greek philosophers like the Democritus and Leucippus also reached at same conclusion, and they also proposed same concept about the divisibility of matter. They also said that when atom is divided, then a finest particle is obtained which cannot further divide. They named this smallest particle as atom. They called this smallest particle as atom, because the term atom, which is derived from Greek word atomio, which means indivisible, as you know that atom is indivisible matter. Okay, now that all the things was philosophicals, but they do not have any scientific proof. The scientific proof about the atom was given by, or was developed by Dalton. So we can say that the scientific explanation about atom was firstly given by Dalton in his atomic theory 1808. That is Dalton's atomic theory. This theory, that means Dalton's atomic theory, was based on the laws of chemical combination. That is, there are two laws. First is law of conservation of mass, and second is law of constant proportion. First one is law of conservation of mass, and second one is law of constant proportion. On the basis of these two laws, Dalton proposed his theory. Okay, the main points of this theory, that means Dalton's atomic theory, are: first, all the substances are made up by small particles called atom. All the substances are made up by small particles called atom. Second is, atom is indivisible particle. Atom is indivisible particle. It means atom neither be created nor be destroyed. Atom neither be created nor be destroyed. Got it? Clear? The third one is, the first one is all the substances made up by small particle, which is called atom, and second one, atom is indivisible particle. That means it cannot be divided into small pieces. It means we can say that neither created nor destroyed. Third, all the atoms of an element are identical. The atoms of an element, that means same element, are identical. That means they have similar masses, similar size, and similar chemical properties. They are identical. That means they have similar properties like the masses, the size, and chemical properties. How the bond is formed and which kind of bond they form. That is chemical property. Fourth, atoms of different element are different. Atoms of different elements are different. It means they have different masses, the size, the chemical properties, etc., etc. Atoms of same element are same, but the atoms of different elements are different. Atoms of element always combine in the simplest whole number ratio to make a molecule or compound. That means atoms always combine in the simplest ratio, whole number ratio, not fraction, not friction. They always combine, they always present in simplest whole number ratio, that means 1 2 3 4 5 6 here and so on. It is not possible that 1.5 1 by 4 1 3 by 4, that is not, that is 1 2 3 4 and so on. Okay, so atoms of element always combine in simplest whole number ratio to make molecule or compound. Sixth one, chemical reactions are rearrangement of atoms. Chemical reactions are rearrangement of atoms. That means dissociation and combination of atoms. Dissociation of older bonds and formation of newer bonds. That gives different compounds. That gives different compounds. Okay, I'm again repeating. Chemical reactions are rearrangement of atoms, that is dissociation and combination of atom, that gives different compound. One thing let me clear you, Dalton's atomic theory is very important for exam purpose. It is very important for exam purpose, so make sure that all of these points is cleared. I am again repeating. First, all the substances are made up by small particles. Second, atom is indivisible particle, that means neither create nor destroyed. Third, atoms of an element are identical, that means they have similar masses, size and chemical properties. Fourth, atoms of different elements are different, it means they have different masses, size and chemical properties. Fifth, atoms of element always combine in simplest whole number ratio to make molecules. And sixth, chemical reactions are rearrangement of atom, dissociation atoms, that rearrangement, that means dissociation and combination of atoms. Okay, now let me move to next topic, that is atomic models. That is atomic models. At that time, the discovery of electron, proton, neutron, etc. is done. Okay, that means now the scientists have knowledge, had knowledge of subatomic particles. Then the questions comes in their mind that how the particles, that means electron, proton, neutron, was present or arranged in an atom. To describe these, different scientists attempt different models, out of which few one which is in our syllabus we will discuss here. The first one is Thomson's atomic model. Thomson's atomic model, which is also called plum pudding model or watermelon model. Thomson's atomic model or plum pudding model or watermelon model. That was first attempt to describe about the structure of atom. It is the first attempt to describe the structure of atom. In 1898, J.J. Thomson proposed the first model about the structure of atom. According to him, atom is a according to him, atom is a positively charged sphere of the size or radius 10 to power minus 10 meter. He said that atom is a positively charged sphere. It is a positively charged sphere of the radius or size 10 to power minus 10 meter. The negative charge or electrons, the negative charge or electrons are are embedded in this positively charged sphere. Positively charged sphere. To consider it in daily life, we can take some example like the watermelon. The reddish part, that is atom, positive charge part, and the sheets which are embedded in the red colored substance, red color pulp, the sheets are electron. So similarly, like the watermelon, The reddish part, which is positive part, and sheets are negative part, are embedded. Similar concept was used by Thomson. Okay, plum pudding name given because in the European countries there is a dish that is plum pudding, which is in which the rice and other substances make the concentrated material, in which the fruit parts, dry fruits and fruit parts are embedded. So that was similar with the Thomson's atomic model. That's why that is known as plum pudding model or watermelon model. Thomson suggested that atom is electrically neutral. Atom is electrically neutral because it consists equal amount of positive and negative charges. Okay. Now, if we consider its achievement, then two achievements in this model. First, this model gives the spherical shape of atom. Before it, there was no idea about the shape of an atom. It is a spherical, it is a rectangular, it is a triangle. Which shape is that? No idea was there, but after that it is clear. Second, it told about the electrical neutrality of atom. The Thomson model told that atom is electrically neutral. Got it? Now, the limitation. This model could not explain Rutherford's gold foil experiment. This model could not explain the result of Rutherford's gold foil experiment. Okay. Now, the one of the important question, that is Rutherford's experiment. What is Rutherford experiment? What he did and how it was becomes objection to the Thomson model, and which new points arrived was achieved by this model. Let us discuss about it. The first thing, in 1911, Rutherford proposed experiment of bombardment of alpha particles on a very thin gold foil. In 1911, Rutherford performed his famous experiment in which he bombarded the alpha particles. What is alpha particle? That is helium plus 2. Helium plus 2. That is known as alpha particle on a very thin gold foil like this. That is a very thin gold foil, and he bombarded. There is a bombardment of alpha particles on this gold foil. It was just only 10 to the power minus 10 meter or 100 nanometer. That means only just 1000 atoms of gold are present in between its two surfaces. A zinc sulfide coated screen. A zinc sulfide coated screen. Zinc sulfide here. Firstly, discuss the diagram. Again, I am repeating. Rutherford performed an experiment of bombardment of alpha particles on a very thin gold foil, which is only 10 to the power minus 7 meter or 1000 nanometer thick. He bombarded alpha particles on it. Now the question is, what is alpha particle? When the two electrons of helium is removed, that means plus 2 helium nucleus is known as alpha particle. It is highly energetic and penetrating power it has. Okay? So he put alpha particles beam on this gold foil and placed a ZNS zinc sulfide coated screen as detector. When alpha particles which are scattered by the gold foil strike with the ZNS screen, they will create shine. And this shine indicates that where the alpha particles travel after the passing through the gold foil. Okay. Now, what What was his observation? That is a diagram, but before that we we firstly read about the observation. First, he observed that most of alpha particle passed in a straight line without deflection. Second observation was few alpha particles, that is 1 ratio 12,000, were deflected with small angle. And third one was very few alpha particles, that is 1 ratio 20,000, were deflected by 180-degree angle and came back on the straight line. That means like that. These are gold particles, and that is ZNS screen, and that are alpha particles bombardment. He observed that most of alpha particles, that which I am indicating 111, passed without any deflection. Second, he observed that few alpha particles, which are denoting by 2, deflected, were deflected with small angle, and very few alpha particle came back on 180 degree, that means on the same path, on same path. Got it? Now that observation becomes the objection to the Thomson model. How? If we consider the Thomson model here, according to Thomson model, all the atom is positively charged, and you know that helium particle, helium He plus 2, that is alpha particle, so this is also positively charged. If according to Thomson model atom is completely positively charged sphere, then none of the alpha particle can pass through it, because both of them have same charges, and you know that same charges repel each other. So that experiment, according to Thomson model, none of the alpha particle will observe here, but in this experiment it is observed that most alpha particles are here. So it is totally against the concept of Thomson model. Got it? Clear? Now, on the basis of this observation, Rutherford conclude that first, most of atom is empty and chargeless. In the Thomson model, that is said that most of atom, that is not empty, all the positive charge and mass is present, and it is positively charged this way. But here it is clear that most of atom is empty and chargeless. Second, all the positive charge and mass of nucleus, mass of the atom is localized at the center of atom, because in the second in the second alpha particles, few of the alpha particles bended. It is only possible when the positive charge and mass is present at the center. So the alpha particle which travel comes near through it, repel and change its direction. Okay. The third observed conclusion was the space occupied by the positive charge and mass is very less than size of atom. The space occupied by the positive charge is very less than. How can we conclude? Because of the particles, third behavior of particles. If it is very less, then the very few particle can came back on the same path, could came back on the same path. Got it? So these three was conclusion of his model. About the on the basis of the conclusion, how the Rutherford gives his atomic model, we will discuss in next class. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.